This was one of Harry and Meghan's first public events together, and even then you could see the dynamic forming. A small moment over who should go first might look like nothing, but it speaks volumes. From protocol to chivalry to the subtle body language between them, this early clip gives us a glimpse of the patterns that would follow in their relationship. In this video, I'm breaking down that moment and showing you what really stood out. But before we begin, here's the intro. Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. I have another serendipitous moment to tell you about. It's almost my 1 year anniversary on X and YouTube. Gearing up towards my 1 year anniversary, I wanted to go back and look at what were some of my early posts and see if I can digitally remaster them. The clip we're going to talk about today, and we're going to talk about it because there was another article where Judy James analyzes body language of this particular moment. My tweet was posted almost a year ago, August 24 of 2024, and I said, just 31 days before I do, M takes the lead. Watch as she steps forward, Harry steps back, and she pushes his arm back. It's surprising to see this behavior prior to the wedding. Could this be when the devaluing stage of the narc cycle began? So I was asking this. It was one of my very earliest posts. At the time, I was using hashtag Meghan Markle exposed and hashtag Meghan is a narc. I really didn't know how Twitter worked, and I used to just use hashtag Meghan Markle, and there were people that would get mad at me, and I didn't realize that even though my clip might be negative or my tweet might be negative, it still gets her hashtag trending. So anyways, needless to say, I've learned a lot over the last year, and I'll show you examples of this as the week moves forward. The article I'm talking about specifically today was in the Daily Mail yesterday, and it's titled Expert Reveals the Moment That Proved Meghan Was Never Going to Fall in Line with Royal Protocol. It's going to be Judy James analyzing again. I know there's going to be a difference of opinion here, but let's go through it and let's see what Judy James has to say. The article begins as her first major event on behalf of the royal family. The spotlight was shining firmly on the former actress. Just a month before the royal wedding, Meghan joined Prince Harry to meet youth delegates taking part in the high-profile Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in London. It marked an important step in introducing Harry's bride-to-be to the world stage and came as a surprise to royal observers, as it is unusual for someone who has not yet married into the royal family to be involved in such a high-profile occasion. Let's pause here. Here is another example of the royal family doing things that are unusual or haven't been done in order to get Meghan more involved. The article continues and says, but according to body language expert Judy James, the couple's dynamic showed green shoots of Meghan inducting Harry into the etiquette of non-royal life. One moment in particular showed Meghan attempting to walk in front of Harry, which goes against royal protocol. So I wanted to look into what does this green shoots mean. I hadn't heard that phrase before, but it means that it's the very first signs of something new starting to grow. So I think it's really interesting here that Judy James is mentioning something I agree with, that Meghan was teaching Harry the etiquette of non-royal life. Normally, a royal husband or fiance would guide his bride into the crown's traditions, but here we're saying Meghan flipping the script. Instead of adapting to Harry's world, she made him adapt to hers. And that's not just role reversal, it's a malignant move. It's redefining traditions to stay at the center, eroding Harry's identity little by little. This tiny moment isn't just etiquette, it's foreshadowing. And I'm going to show you so many more clips from this same event where Meghan's behavior is just out of control, in my opinion. Before we go on to look at Judy's analysis, I think it's best if we just watch that clip. So this is that moment. Harry goes in first to speak to the person, but Meghan doesn't back down. She kind of pushes Harry back. She wants to make sure she goes first. It's unapologetic. It's, I'm going to go first to shake hands. The article continues and says, Harry also takes a step forward to shake hands with a man opposite him, causing the two to bump into each other. The prince promptly steps back before apologizing and allowing Meghan to take the lead. Body language expert Judy James told the Daily Mail at the time this seemed like nothing more than a small body language reset for Harry, who had taken protocol as the norm all his life, but who had chosen a US actress and self proclaimed feminist as his wife, suggesting a desire for change. There's a lot of loaded assumptions here. Desire for change because she's a feminist? I think it's beyond that. Feminism is not synonymous with dominance, with control, with power plays. And what we're seeing here are the early signs of dominance, control, and power play. There's also this other assumption here that at the time, this seemed like nothing more than a small body language reset for Harry. I'm sure there are so many of you that saw this and knew. At the time, I wasn't paying attention and I wasn't watching, but it would definitely raise red flags for me. The article continues and says the traditional royal role would be for him to induct his bride into the complicated and archaic choreography of royal life, but what we saw here was the green shoots of Meghan inducting Harry into the etiquette of non royal life. At the time, etiquette expert William Hansen said, from a protocol point of view, Harry should have gone first as Meghan as the consort. Okay, if you could see me, I immediately started shaking my head when I read the complicated and archaic choreography of royal life. This is being said, I believe, by Judy James. So now we know her perspective. She thinks it's archaic. And when we look at it through that lens, it does start explaining why many of us have so much disagreement in her analysis of Harry and Meghan. A malignant narcissist doesn't just ignore tradition, they rewrite it to keep control. What we're seeing here, if we are to take Judy's own words and shift them around a little bit, is that these are the first signs of Meghan reshaping Harry into her world. Even the etiquette experts pointed out Harry should have gone first. But in narcissistic dynamics, protocol doesn't matter unless it serves the narcissist's power. This is the last part of the article we will go through. It starts off by saying, but from a chivalry point of view, it is always preferable to let your spouse or girlfriend go first. So he wasn't wrong, but he wasn't right either. Judy continued, even in these few moments of prancing, wobbles, and redirection, we can see Meghan's social confidence glow while Harry's insecurities rise closer to the surface. Let's pause. Judy, read these words out loud to yourself and see what it sounds like. I know sometimes when we write things out or when we type them, we don't really understand the strength of what our words mean, but really read this out loud to yourself. Even you can see something is amiss. The article continues, he is the one having to learn to synchronize with another person. Meghan has already been married, and her TV career will have allowed her to know all about moving smoothly and competently with someone else by her side, either on set or in real life. When there's a misstep, it's Harry who leaps into correction mode, while Meghan always sees her movements through to the end. Okay, I should have taken the advice I gave to Judy for myself, because when I am reading this out loud, it's astounding. So essentially, it's being said that Meghan is moving confidently because she's experienced. She's been married before. She has a TV career. She's moved smoothly and competently. Harry hasn't? Is that what is being said here? Is the converse true of Harry? Harry's been doing this for years. And early at this stage, Meghan always sees her movements through to the end. Meghan is not paying attention to what Harry's doing. She makes sure that her way moves forward. And I'll show you clips that demonstrate that. What's really telling here is how the narrative gets softened, framing Harry's behavior as chivalry when in reality, it reveals a deeper imbalance. Meghan's social confidence isn't just polish from acting, it's control. A malignant narcissist will glide forward no matter what, while the partner scrambles to adjust around them. That's exactly what we are seeing with Harry. He's the one constantly correcting, redirecting, seeking harmony, while Meghan never breaks stride. That's not confidence. That's dominance disguised as grace. Let's get into the first clip. This is when Harry and Meghan are arriving, and my perception of this is that Meghan wants to hold Harry's hand, and Harry just seems to not be paying attention. I'm not sure. And even here, I think Megan is trying to assert herself, but it just doesn't work this time. The next two clips are from the same moment when they're walking in, and you can see Megan already does that pushing thing, pushing Harry forward. Here it is again from the other angle. Megan is directing Harry, and they haven't even walked in yet. And again, as a reminder, this is 31 days before their wedding. The control is already there in front of all of the flashing cameras. We see Megan dominating and in control. This clip I thought was interesting because it's when Harry and Meghan are walking in and she moves forward, but she actually checks with him if it's okay to go first. She turns back, she raises her eyebrows, opens her eyes wide, like, is it okay if I go first? And this is in such contrast to her behavior now. It got me thinking of that moment in New York when Meghan and Harry got to that Time 100 event, and I'm gonna show you those clips too. So here, Meghan doesn't even have any concern for what Harry's doing. She just moves forward. Here it is again from a different angle. Meghan just walks in and just goes ahead. No concern for Harry, no asking for permission, just goes forward. Here's another moment that's similar to that first one where Megan goes first. She looks to Harry for almost permission or kind of trying to direct him, but she's not as forceful as she is in her interactions today. This next one I thought was pretty funny. Before I start playing it, I'm going to describe what I see. I see Harry having a good time with the gentleman across from him in the hat, and Megan just really needs to get involved. So you'll see they're laughing, they're having a good time, and Megan touches his arm and then does that thing with her hair she does when she wants attention. So I tried to do a split screen here so you can see how the gentleman is just excited to be talking to Harry, and Megan just wants to be involved as soon as she sees Harry's having a good time or interacting closely with someone else. Here's that same moment from a different angle. So you see they're laughing together, and Megan just has to get in on it. She needs to be involved in the interaction. In this next moment, you see Megan reach out to Harry to try to control him, but she pulls back. So I think she was still at this point trying to be a little bit restrained, maybe not as controlling as we see today. And yet another example of Megan using her hand to tell Harry when it's time to go, when it's time to move on. And this is happening a month before the wedding. It's kind of shocking when you think of it that way, right? Like this behavior was there from the beginning. Of all the clips we've seen, I think this was the one that was the most shocking to me because you see when Harry goes in to try to direct Megan, he doesn't even touch her and he lets go immediately. He drops his hand immediately. It's like he doesn't try to direct her in any way. Here's a clip so many of us have seen. Megan doesn't like it when Harry talks, even all the way back in April of 2018. She didn't like him talking, in my opinion. In this moment, Megan has a mask slip. She's smiling very, very deeply. It doesn't look authentic to me, but she can only hold it for so long before the smile drops. And finally, this is Megan doing that intense stare. She does this all the time. It's very intimidating, I feel. There were many other moments that she had this stare while she was talking to other people. I wanted to close out this video letting this clip play. The reason I wanted to play this clip is because look how confident Harry looks. Look how passionate he looks. He's talking, he's in his element. We don't see that anymore. His diminishment is real. Well, I'm curious to know what you all thought about this. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. If this was interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I drop a new video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you're looking for a meaningful way to support something beyond the screen, I'd love for you to consider making a donation to the National Domestic Violence Hotline in lieu of super chats and super stickers. They provide 24/7 support and resources for people in unsafe or overwhelming situations, whether that's emotional, physical, or just hard to name. Their information is on the screen should you need to contact them, and you'll find the link to donate in the description of this video. Every little bit helps, and it means a lot. Thank you again for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.